Hi, Sama.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Stand by. We're going to be on air soon. Okay. Let me first go back. We just had a little bit of a, Sama, we're not like the CBC. I'm sure that your discussion on the CBC was just flawless. Hey, here we're co-op radio. We're kind of strings and rubber bands. We put ourselves together every week. And thank you for joining us. Let me let listeners know what we're doing. We're speaking with co-founder of Parents for Palestine, Sama Ghnaim. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Yeah. Whew. Last time we had to ask you to say it. Palestinian mother of three, activist, educator, and community leader working to bridge education, advocacy, and philanthropy. And we're going to be discussing this really fantastic organization, community organization called Parents for Palestine Vancouver. So thank you so much for joining us again and sharing a little bit of your time with us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
No, it's nice. Tell us again, Parents for Palestine was something that is here, obviously it's in Vancouver, but is it something that is also replicated in other cities that you're aware of?
I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that we do have them in other cities as well. But I mean, if you're referring to just what we're talking about, like Vancouver versus Langley.
No, I meant like out of BC. Like have you heard of it in Ontario? Have you heard of such an organization out there? Just curious.
You know what? I think there is others outside of BC, but I haven't actually looked into it in terms of, but I can.
Yeah, no, it's, you don't have to. I was just curious if that was the case, because look, I think that what you have co-created with community is something really fantastic. So if folks don't know what Parents for Palestine Vancouver is all about, Sama, what would you tell them?
Oh, what would I tell them?
Yeah, what is it?
Honestly,
yeah, really. We have some time.
We are a multiracial, interfaith, inclusive group of families. We stand together as Palestinians, Jewish, Indigenous, and allied parents. We all have a common cause, which is we all believe that children deserve to live in safety, dignity, and love. And we all stand in solidarity with Palestine. And so it's just this beautiful group that is so diverse and stands together with so much stamina. I think that's a really important thing to pinpoint. We are 15 months into this genocide, and we are going stronger than ever. And, we as a group of parents, we try to channel our grief into action. And that's what we wanted to do from the beginning. We started, you and I spoke a long time ago, and since then, we've grown beyond the idea of where we started. It was just to educate, raise awareness, bring community together so that our children could have this safe space where we could expose them and let them understand what is happening in the world, in Palestine, within the scope of what they can handle as children. And from my point of view, we've succeeded in doing that. We've created a really tightly knit community that is not static. I think that's a really important point here about Parents for Palestine. We are very dynamic. So in terms of our growth, we have grown to become a group that allows, it's basically an entryway into a movement, a grassroots movement, where if you're feeling like you want to contribute, you want to feel like you are helping and you are driving change, we offer you an avenue to come and contribute in whatever capacity you can.
So Sama, how does that work in practicality? So you mean like somebody can just reach out and say, hey, I've got this idea, can we do this, like this kind of thing? Or like what is the practicality? Yeah? Tell us.
Absolutely. So what you said, absolutely. And because we thought, community has a lot of great ideas. Because I told you before, we have this, what we call an anchor group, where we basically anchor Parents for Palestine, and we help drive decisions and kind of plan events and help provide different kits and different processes to people who would like to run different events at their own time or in their own community centers. But what we've also been doing is we've been running what we call power hours, where we invite community to come and share their ideas and share what they would like to do, and then we help them map out how they can do it.
So give me an example of how that worked out in the past. Like how did that come together for a particular event or situation?
So we hold them virtually on Zoom, and then we have an anchor member that basically anchors that power hour, and the community comes in and they have different ideas, and then a project basically is born out of those ideas, and the people who come end up creating different volunteer groups within the Parents for Palestine umbrella on WhatsApp to drive that project.
Wow. What would you say is one of the reasons why you think Palestine's Parents for Palestine has been so successful in reaching out and growing, as you were saying?
I think, and I'm going to tell you based on my own experience, because I run a lot of the community events that you and I talked about before, like paint nights for kids, for adults, baking workshops. I think one of the things that make us so strong is our strong sense of community and solidarity. It's this idea that when people come to a Parents for Palestine event, they feel like they are part of a community that really understands them and supports them. And because of our diversity, everybody feels welcome. At all ages, like I told you, all ethnic backgrounds. It's a safe space where you can feel like you're a contributing member of society, really helping. Watching this genocide over the last 15 months has been horrific. Yeah. And so working with a group that really amplifies Palestinian voices, and this is a great thing that I truly love about Parents for Palestine, is they always want to make sure that the Palestinian voices are really, truly amplified. And so you see that in the way that projects get carried out. There's so much sensitivity and so much planning and so much care being put into how we go about having those events. An example that I was telling you about one of the new things that we've been doing grief circles, for example.
So tell us about that. Okay.
I haven't run the grief circles, but we have some really talented, very knowledgeable members of our community, Indigenous community, Palestinian community, Jewish community, and all other communities, where they come together and they form a grief circle, and they allow for a safe space for people to share how they're feeling and to kind of express how this has impacted us and what we can do to drive change.
That's awesome. Yeah. because grief is after all this time, people are really grieving, and being able to come together in a constructive and productive way and enable that is fantastic, along with learning how to cook and paint and other things.
What's funny is when you learn to cook and paint, you are doing so much more than cooking and painting.
True.
Because our events are always Palestinian-centered. What you're doing is you're doing a multifold activity. First of all, you're engaging with community of so many different backgrounds. Number two, you are engaging with Palestinian culture in a way that any age can understand it. Whether it's embroidery, whether it's painting, whether it's baking, whether it's whatever it is, it always has an underlying Palestinian culture education piece of it. And people walk away inspired and almost a little bit more knowledgeable just from the way that people kind of engage in conversation and what they learn about what they're doing and why they're doing it.
I think it's fantastic, and you've reached out to the Vancouver, the Teachers Federation, and getting curriculum into the school and things like that as well, which is
in terms fantastic. Of incorporating the Nakba into the curriculum. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Since you and I spoke, we have had over 100 events in the last year.
That's crazy.
We've raised over $80,000 in direct relief efforts.
And we didn't speak that long ago either. We was like 4 or 5 months ago. So that's
remember you had asked me, what's your goal, Sama? I said 100,000.
You got it.
I'm almost there. We are almost there, and it's just it's amazing. It's amazing to be part of this group, this wonderful group of humans that just they restore your faith in humanity. Let's just put it that way.
And so what continues you to continue on with this work? Do you ever get a break, or is it a point now where Parents for Palestine is kind of working in a way where it's got it, or what are you looking forward to planning and doing next? Maybe is another way of asking the question.
We just want to keep growing. I think one of the things that we recognize in ourselves, like you said, you can't just keep going by yourself, and we recognize that as a group. And what we want to do is we want to build capacity within Parents for Palestine, and we've been doing that. And so the work has been expanding, and that's what I wish for our group, is to continue to grow and to continue to support different projects. I'll give you an example. We're supporting, one of our anchor members is supporting a project called the Gaza Water Project. I'm supporting a project called the Heart of Awaaz, which you and I spoke about last time. There's so much that is going on in terms of how we can contribute to our community and how we can actually help feel or contribute to the Palestinian cause within the capacity that we can from where we are. And so I think our goal is to continue to build capacity, to continue to connect with a greater and a larger community, and to continue to help Palestinians in any way, shape, or form, because I know we're relieved that there has been a ceasefire deal, but it just means it's relief for them. But for us, the work continues. And this fight is far from over. So the road is long ahead of us. And if we're going to be able to sustain the stamina that we've been able to sustain for the last 15 months, then we need to build capacity. We need to make sure that we can grow and we can basically expand. And that's what I really hope for Parents for Palestine, is to continue expanding at the rate that it's been expanding, for us to continue to connect with different communities, and for us to just continue engaging and making a difference.
Absolutely. For reasons unknown to me, and kudos to you guys. You're doing awesome work, and the way that you have been expanding and growing. Because of course, we invite you back to talk about it because we see it. I do see it. The activities that you're doing, the amounts of people that are coming, and how you're impacting people's lives in changing attitudes, as well as giving people a sense of community, I think is a fantastic model. I hope that you are able to replicate it in other cities, and that's why I was asking whether you were aware of such a group in different places. It just goes to show you that a few like-minded people can come together and make a movement grow.
Yeah. I actually looked it up for you while we were talking, and I noticed that there's Parents for Palestine in NYC, there's Parents for Palestine in Oxford, there's Parents for Palestine. I hope this movement grows to become this global wide movement, because honestly, we have found that this is the way that we can continue. You and I talked about how difficult it is to be able to witness a genocide on live streamed on your phone, and you feel helpless, and you feel like, what does anything that I make a difference? And the answer that I found working with Parents for Palestine, co-finding Parents for Palestine, is yes. What we do matters. At the end of the day, it might be small, but it matters, because small impact, one on top of the other, makes a huge impact. And that's what we're hoping for.
No, absolutely. And we don't want to put too much pressure on you, but we're coming into an election cycle coming up soon, and it's going to be a great avenue to educate people and make them aware of what's at stake. Yeah.
And that's also part of what we do. Driving political action is also part of Parents for Palestine. Mm-hmm. One of the things that we also pride ourselves on. But because we do so much community engagement, that's what you see to be the focus. Mm-hmm. But like we said, in terms of incorporating Nakba into the curriculum, that's a huge undertaking. Yes. And it's been a huge undertaking. And the impact on our future generation is insane in terms of imagine what our children are going to hear in school. It just changes the way that our children view history, and it changes the way that our children feel about themselves and how they see themselves represented and amplified in the school that they're in, which they currently do not.
No, absolutely. It's fantastic. And also the way that you have connected this issue with Indigenous issues here for sovereignty, mm-hmm. and I think is also really, really important, which is high time that folks that come to Canada from outside because of their own colonial histories or oppressions or whatever, end up being settler colonialists here themselves. And so bridging this with, as you do with Parents of Palestine, and being inclusive of interfaith communities and other communities into promoting and understanding Palestinian culture and heritage is fantastic. Sama, thank you. Kudos to you and everybody else who is with you. Let listeners know just one more time, where is the best place to find you on the internet?
You can find us on Instagram at Parents for Palestine YVR. And you can also, we also have a WhatsApp group that you can ask us to join. Okay. If you'd like to just message us on Instagram. Okay. But the best place to get all of our latest news, events, sign up. We have an event coming up right now for a kids' paint night for Palestine. You can find all the details on our Instagram page or on our WhatsApp group.
When is the paint night?
That's happening this Saturday, February 1st from 1 till 3 p.m. in Vancouver.
Okay.
And tickets are on sale on Galabit.
Okay.
And a link to all of our tickets and events are on our Instagram page in our stories.
Parents for Palestine YVR.
Correct.
Okay, well, good luck, and thank you so much for taking this time out and informing us as to the updates. We look forward to catching up with you down the road.
Well, thank you so much for reaching out to me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, great.
I hope the next time we speak, Palestine will be free.
Yeah, inshallah. Inshallah. Let's see what happens.
Thank you.
We will make it. We will make it at some point.
Yes, we will.
We will make it at some point.
Yes, we will.
Okay, have a good evening. Catch you soon.
Too.
Bye-bye.